What's up guys, Kiwis here and welcome back to another video. As always, first of all, thank you for being here and choosing to click on a video. If you could of course leave a like, comment down below and subscribe if you haven't already, then that would be very much appreciated. So you'll tell by the title today, I am showing you my live game from the Premier League. First of all, I am 3-2 down heading into that game. It will be the second leg. Obviously I lost the first leg so I don't really want to show that. But yeah, I'm 3-2 down, so obviously it's played over 2 legs and I have to win on aggregate. So this is the team that I did use for it. Obviously concept players, it was all Premier League teams. Walker at right back, De Gea in goal. You can't see the pictures because, of course, another thing that EA have messed up with this year. But I had 3 subs that I bought on regularly, Rashford, Aubameyang and Sané. So yeah, that's the team that I used. I have to change the team because obviously you can't show player instructions and custom tactics. Oh no, wrong one. I mean, pretty much the right team name, but not the team that I want to show you. Because I need the custom tactics from this team. And these custom tactics are the same ones I did use through every game in the Premier E-Prem. Same as the player instruction. So it's balanced, 5 width, 4 depth, fast build-up play, then 4 width, 4 players in box, 2 corners and 2 free kicks. And then player instructions are getting behind and stay forward on both the strikers, stay forward on the cam, stay back while attacking on the CDM, and then stay back while attacking on the fullbacks. So yeah, any questions be sure to ask me in the comment section. You are now going to see the live game completely that was broadcast on Sky Sports and Twitch. Everything's live, commentary, my reaction, the other players' reaction. So yeah, really hope you all enjoy the video. If you've got any questions, be sure to ask me down below. Hopefully this video helps you with, you know, it's Saturday that this should be released, maybe Sunday. But hopefully you're playing weekend league games or some sort of games and it can help you with that. So hope you enjoy it and thank you for watching.
Here we're back to all level.
Yeah, you just have to build on the confidence you were able to gain at the latter stages of that game. We can have a quick look at that team. You saw it flash up and you saw all the different colours of the foot items. Now we've been introduced with Team of the Year, with Foot Birthday, with Headliners. You don't often see the standard goal foot items anymore. It's very colourful, it's pretty, I like it.
Yeah, and the flashback one in there as well. David Luiz, I love that. Headliners, we've got it all here in these teams and it's fantastic to see, obviously, only Premiership players allowed from FIFA Ultimate Team here, so no icons, it's all about the players who are currently representing their clubs in the Premier League.
And there was kind of big talk in the community of how would some of the top players in the world react to their teams changing from those icons to now just being restricted to Premier League players.
We'll have to find out as we just see this attack through now. De Bruyne inside the box, drives it across goal, but not the best of cutbacks there, De Gea. Easy work for him.
Yeah, De Bruyne maybe should have been shooting if he had learned anything from Newcastle early in the first leg, as he has just got a cracking right and left foot, of course, on that foot item.
5-star weak foot from Kevin De Bruyne, it doesn't matter what side he hits it with. He's going to do just as much damage. Now De Bruyne will bring it away here for Newcastle. Couple of step-overs, couple of croquetas. Just trying to buy some space, maybe pull a defender out to create some space in behind. Watford trying to force the ball forward, but Fabinho, that's what he's so good at. Might not be the best on the ball, but as far as winning the ball backs, there's not many better players.
I think the key word there is forced as well, and I feel like Watford don't want to force the ball too much going forward. Even though Kiwis likes to play his free-flowing football, if he plays too many forced passes, then I feel like Planet Toast is just going to jump on that and he's going to be able to cut the passing lanes.
Well, here is Heung-min Son here down the left-hand side. That 45-degree fake shot looks towards the back post, but that's comfortable stuff from De Gea, and we've got more goals flying in from all the games.
And it's hashtag Shawry versus Potsy again, Everton versus Leicester, and it was Aguero for Everton to grab a goal back there. And elsewhere, Burnley versus Huddersfield.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, it's just nice pass and move. And just a simple cutback to finish that one off for Huddersfield.
Yeah, sometimes you'll think you get into that position, 1v1 with the goalkeeper, you take your shot, having worked so hard for it. The players of this calibre, they know there's always an extra little pass on to make that almost a guaranteed goal. So you saw Painter there showing his experience and his talent. But back to this game then, the feature game, no goals to report. As yet, just 16 minutes gone in our second leg. Pogba now dancing, a couple of fake shots, and that's beautiful work from Paul Pogba there. De Bruyne, unfortunately, just runs that one out of play, though.
And you talk about the extra pass and how some players will always look for that extra pass. You have 2 types of players in FIFA. The players who want to just keep passing the ball until they get an open net almost. And then you get the players like Planet Toast who will just take that shot from whenever he sees goal, and it's worked out pretty well for him.
Oh, it might be a chance here. Hazard and Salah, they're exchanging passes. Hazard just didn't quite have the room for the shot. And it deflects out somehow for a goal kick here. I thought that was a corner. The referee obviously saw it a little bit better than I did. And then again, I do wear glasses, and my sight is not the best.
Don't worry, I'm with you there. Also wearing glasses. But Sawa Kiwis didn't look too bothered by it, so maybe he agrees.
De Bruyne then inside the box here. Look for a cheeky little back heel. You saw there were players queuing up in the middle. He could have found that pass. That might have been a real opportunity for him there.
Sawa Kiwis seems to have upped his defence a little bit, though. He's not leaving himself as vulnerable at the back, stretching the play a little bit more as well. Just really trying to utilise those wings.
Look at Hazard, though. He didn't stop, and there's a little deflection on it. And that's a slice of luck you need sometimes. Sawa Kiwis finds the goal. Heung-min Son will be credited with it. But there's a huge slice of luck going his way, and it's David Luiz just off that right calf there that just took David De Gea off balance, and that's the goal to tie up now in aggregate.
I mean, you've got to get yourself in those positions to get that little bit of luck sometimes. The cutback, usually you'd see Son just smash those home, but he didn't quite connect with it. But still manages to just find the back of the net. And now we're all tied up, and suddenly Planet Toast isn't as comfortable as he once was.
Absolutely not. Son then going forward here for Sawa Kiwis. He dominated the first half of the first leg and then fell behind after an impressive comeback in the second leg, and now he's looking to assert his dominance once more, but well defended there. There's a little bit of space out wide here for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to maybe try and utilise his pace up against David Luiz, but he steps in and wins the ball back.
Now, one thing that is worth talking about when we see these players who are slightly lower on the Global Series rankings, and you might be wondering, well, how did they get to this tournament if they're that low? They beat some big players. For example, Planet Toast, he took down Fully in the finals at the Newcastle qualifiers. So that's something you've got to bear in mind. They beat top-tier players to get here, so they have earned their spot to play amongst some of the best.
I like what I'm seeing here from Sawa Kiwis as well. You can see, I think he's got most of his attacking players set to stay up the pitch and maybe looking to counter-attack. Planet Toast unfortunately just runs that one out of play with a heavy touch. And that means if he does win the ball back, he's going to have plenty of options flowing forward. You can see that now. Look at that ball in behind. And it's Heung-min Son who gets away from Van Dijk. The Liverpool man's trying to get back at him, and David Luiz is going to have to step across here and help out his fellow centre-back. Corner now. Luiz gets it in. Van Dijk, it's going to fall in the box. De Gea, though, comes and calms things down a little bit. 10 minutes now till half-time.
As we had a goal elsewhere between Wolves and Southampton, and it's Russia again who found his fifth. It was a little bit fortunate. It was even-timed red, but it doesn't matter. It went in. Red for Southampton.
Another goal here to separate the two teams then, and it's going to be West Ham's Jambo, and it's Paul Pogba, the low-driven shot there across goal to give him the lead in that game.
I tell you what, we've got a game on our hands here as well, as Potsy was able to get a second for Everton.
Back into it.
So that's going to make things a little bit difficult for #Shuri, representing Leicester City.
Maybe Shuri just a little bit guilty for Leicester City of taking his foot off the gas after a convincing 3-0 win in that first leg. However, now he knows he's certainly in for a game. Leicester now tied up 3-3 with Everton as well.
Yeah, it looks like we might get another goal update a little bit later on that one, but at the moment, we're all tied up 3-3 here as well, and it does look like Sawa Kiwis is the one who's really trying to attack this game. It is what he promised us. It's just those 1-2s that Planet Toast and Newcastle have to be very careful. If they commit centre-backs to try and win that ball, they are going to leave themselves vulnerable to that quick 1-2 pass and move style of football. They might see Watford take the lead.
Will there be a chance here just before half-time? What a ball that was! And what a save it was. It had to match the pass, the save. And luckily it did here for Planet Toast. David De Gea comes up big for him. Maybe a chance here from the corner. Just before half-time, taken short, Kante into De Bruyne. Beautiful stuff from him, and I think he was looking for Heung-min Son. De Gea now clutches this one, fires it upfield, and there is the half-time whistle. Nothing to separate these two players.
But a lot of chances made by Watford, getting into the right areas, trying to just use a couple of croquettes dragbacks to then play that cutback across goal, because we know how effective it is. However, there has been some situation, I would say, for Watford. They could have taken a shot on the goal, maybe hope for a little bit. Deflection off the keeper. As we take a look at some of the highlights from the game, I mean, it was Kiwis again in the early stages really showing his dominance and just rewarded
he
with getting into
he
the
deserved
area.
that goal from his play in that opening period of the game. You can see the scores here from our first round as they stand. Cardiff City currently 1-0 down, still on aggregate to Manchester City. Watford 3, Newcastle 3, that's the game we're bringing you now. Brighton and Hove Albion currently down 3-2 to West Ham, what a game that is. And Crystal Palace currently chasing the game, 2-0 down against Bournemouth.
Yeah, Burnley have come back against Huddersfield, winning 2-1. Southampton continuing to dominate against Wolves. Everton versus Leicester, though. Leicester, who were leading 3-0, are now all tied up 3-3. What a game we've got in Group D. And then Manchester United still leading Fulham 4-1.
Yeah, great stuff from all of the players at the moment, but they want to keep an eye on is certainly that game, the Leicester City game. That was 3-0, and now it's 3-3. You've got to wonder what's going to happen towards the end of that one. But going back to this game, Dan, obviously we're into our second half now of our second leg. Nothing to separate them. Planet Toast came out with a different plan in the first leg in the second half. He's got to do something different here because he really wasn't in the game there.
I think for Planet Toast, maybe he's hoping that Sour Kiwis is going to be committing forward with Watford here. Is going to leave himself a little bit of space at the back that maybe Planet Toast can jump on.
Aubameyang might have the chance to give him the lead, though. De Gea makes another save here, and Planet Toast is relying on his goalkeeper in certain situations here. He's playing very, very dangerously.
And relying on your goalkeeper is something you can do in FIFA 19 with the ability now to move your goalkeeper. You can just kind of watch that defence and move the keeper. And here is the goal that sent Potsy and Everton to 3-3 against Leicester. An incredible comeback there. And of course, there has to be a winner. So if it's all tied up, it would go to extra time.
And Son's trying to whip this one in. Look at this. De Bruyne is in all sorts of space. How big can David De Gea get? Big enough to turn that one behind for a corner. I was talking about how Planet Toast was relying on his goalkeeper. This time it was Sour Kiwis. Ball into the box. Van Dijk's there. He gets up and he heads it past the goalkeeper. A towering header from the centre-back. And there was nothing that David De Gea could do about that one.
All planned, though, from Newcastle. You saw Planet Toast just controlling Van Dijk, moving him towards that back post. And Sour Kiwis not able to react quick enough. Didn't move his keeper to the back post. Didn't manage to get a player there. And that's one thing that the Team of the Year Van Dijk can do, is just win headers above all else. He's one of the few players in the game that can contest Cristiano Ronaldo when it comes to heading ability.
So Newcastle United in the first game here on the Xbox side of the bracket have now managed to eke out a goal lead. And it's a very similar pattern to what we saw in that first leg, Dan. Sour Kiwis controlling the first half. But after half-time, Planet Toast just finding a goal. And last time we saw it, he managed to bag 3 in quick succession. Now it's a chance, an opportunity here for Sour Kiwis to show that he got a little bit more resilience about him after that goal to give him the lead.
Well, one thing I can promise you is that Sour Kiwis is going to go hard at Newcastle. Now, he's not just going to sit back and just play a little bit of possession game. He is going to try and hit on the counter-attack or just play that ping-pong football that we've seen already in the game. The only thing he has to be careful about is now the counter-attack from Planet Toast.
Sane then trying to force his way through the defences of Watford. Well, Planet Toast for Newcastle United here has done a great job of soaking up that pressure and taking that chance when it came. Son back to Pogba. Tries to force it out wide here, manages to keep possession. Kante, there's lots of space here on the left-hand side for Marcus Alonso. Richarlison now on the pitch. Kante linking up with his Chelsea teammate Alonso there. Fabinho, great ball round the corner. This is beautiful order. A last-second tackle there. Just as that ball looked like it was going to sneak through, but now Planet Toast looks like he's bossing this one down.
And it looks like he also switched to 4-1-2-1-2. Just to really try and control the midfield and trying to starve his opponent of possession in that midfield, as we have another goal between Everton and Leicester. At this time, it's Shuri getting ahead once again, leading 4-3 now for Leicester. Maybe Everton were able to get back into it, but Leicester showing experience.
Flicked up towards the back post, then De Gea just about deals with that one. It will be a corner as the Man United goalkeeper had to turn that one behind. 25 minutes to go here, plus stoppage time. Ball whipped in by De Bruyne. Again looking for Van Dijk. This time De Gea comes out and gets a good fist on that.
Yeah, get the goalkeeper movement there and just bring him out ever so slightly. If Van Dijk's at the back post, I feel like moving your keeper is fine. It's just a bit scary when that player is at the front post sometimes because they can just nod it over you.
De Bruyne versus Luis then. Luis trying to keep that pressure on Pogba. Great little ball across here to Kante. Tries to flick it up, maybe looking for that first-time volley, but Richarlison will collect the loose possession here. Newcastle United looking so dangerous towards the end of this game. Now we're seeing that big switch of play.
And we're seeing a big switch of possession statistics as well. However, Watford do win the ball back relatively high up the pitch, but instantly won back by the defensive side of Newcastle. And it's going to be very difficult for Watford to break down because now we've got the 4-1-2-1-2. We've got Kante, Fabinho and Pogba all kind of sitting back in that midfield, and they are three players that are extremely difficult to get past no matter which foot items you're using.
And it looks like there won't be too many changes coming in here potentially from Sour Kiwis. It's on the other side of things at the moment. Reminder to everyone at home that we've got so many games going on at the moment from all of the groups. You can see all the Group C games there, all the Group D games as they stand as well. Goals still going in everywhere. Keep an eye on that Everton-Leicester game. Can Leicester hold on, or will Everton once again make the comeback? And it might be a goal here as we see it. Big save actually coming in from the goalkeeper there.
And we saw how important these early games are on the PlayStation side of the bracket. For example, Burnley, who took Man United to extra time and then just missed out by 3 points in qualifying through. You really got to try and get a head start in this group stage.
So it looks like the pause might have been finished there in our feature game. And as we do jump back, and you can see maybe a change to a 3 at the back potentially here. We're seeing maybe some tactics change, maybe some custom tactics changed. We'll have to wait and see until we get back in game here to see if that change has been made. It does look like a 3 at the back, so Sour Kiwis, he's decided to go for this.
Yeah, you've got to go for it at this point and commit. Of course, that is going to allow Newcastle to have a little bit of space going forward, so we might just see the game flip on its head and end up 5-3, for example.
Pogba then with the El Tornado towards the back post, and I think it was Richarlison trying to sneak in there. Maybe not a play you'd be expected to get on the end of too many crosses, but when you can get out wide against that 3 at the back formation, there will be space at that back post. Quite simply due to a lack of fullbacks, but look at the space here for Marcus Rashford. Pulls it back across goal, but it goes between defender and attacker. And unfortunately for Watford, there was no one there to convert it.
So close yet so far once again, and it's that man Mo Salah. Always seems to be in the right place at the right time, but the ball not quite in his path. And now it means on the other side, Newcastle trying to get away with a counter-attack. And Sour Kiwis and Watford just constantly lofting the ball up forward
space
now.
here though, look at this. Oh, Van Dijk, that was a wayward pass, which kind of, to be honest, let Sour Kiwis off. And look at this running behind here. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he's got pace to burn. It's towards the back post. Sane has to beat Van Dijk. And the Dutchman will not be beaten in that battle. De Bruyne goes in, and De Bruyne finds an equaliser. A great ball through, and again, showing the value of a 5-star week for the left-footed shot across goal. Finds the top corner.
He did the job for Newcastle, and now he's doing the job for Watford as De Bruyne. Sometimes you do just have to hit him first time.
To finish.
Van Dijk stretching out, but not able to get his large 6'4" frame in the way. And now with just 8 minutes left, we have a game on our hands that might just be going into extra time.
I won't be surprised to see the formation actually change back and revert to what it was there in that game that we just saw. The 3 at the back used obviously to get back in the game, get players forward, but when it's tied up, you can revert back. We'll see in some of the other games we've got going on at the moment. You can see Crystal Palace picking up a 2-1 win, I believe, at the end of that game. Obviously changes being made across the board here. Dan, tactics and changes, substitutions, so vital in competitive FIFA 19.
Yeah, it looks like results are all coming in from those other 3 games. Let's have a look at the latest scores then for round 1 whilst we get those tactics. Of course, Watford 4-4 against United.
We picked the right one to watch.
We did pick the right one. Manchester United beating Cardiff City 1-0 there. West Ham 3-2 over Brighton, and Bournemouth 3-1 over Crystal Palace.
Burnley obviously holding a 2-1 lead over Huddersfield Town. Wolves going down 5-3 to Southampton. Good stuff from the Saints. Again, a great performance from them so far today. Everton currently down 4-3 to City after an incredible comeback, and then Manchester United holding on 4-2 against Fulham. And it sounds really weird, but it feels so good to say these names out loud. These Premiership teams are involved in competitive FIFA esports. It's fantastic to see.
We've mentioned it a few times. It just adds an extra little bit of pride, I feel, for a lot of the players who are competing, and you just invest more because you want to see the team that you follow, the team that you support, do well, even if it's just FIFA esports. For some people who might not have dove into FIFA esports before, I hope that they get involved more in the future.
I certainly hope they'll be supporting their boys here who are representing their football teams that they might have followed for years and years as well. Salah flying forward here for Watford from the restart. Only 6 minutes left in this game before we go to extra time. Tied up at 4-4 on aggregate. No away goals here in this format. Ball into the box. Van Dijk again looking to win a header, but it's going to be Leroy Sané of all players, who's back in a deep position here to recycle possession.
Utilising the fullbacks to join the attack as well, just to get a little bit more space.
Pogba inside the box, turns, finds Aubameyang. Will be caught offside there from that little ball.
And I think it is very important to get your fullbacks involved in the game. If you have them on kind of set back and not joining the attack, your attack can get a little bit, I don't want to say boring, but your attackers almost don't have any help. Whereas if you use the left backs and the right backs, suddenly they've got so much more freedom to roam and you just have so much more creative options. So I love to see players really utilising those fullbacks. That's why, for example, Marcelo was very popular in the esports edition of the account. But in this Premier League style, we're starting to see the likes of Kyle Walker being used for his pace going forward, for example.
Into stoppage time then. Planet Toast with possession. Is there a winner left in this game? Well, opening game here on the Xbox bracket. Ball back inside. Kante finds the ball to Rashford. Aubameyang with a scoop turn. Walker has to show his defensive prowess there after we're talking about how good he is going forward. Kante wins it back, tries to find Aubameyang and does. And the whistle just goes. You can see the disappointment from the Watford player, soured Kiwis. He thought he might have had a chance there towards the end of the game, just before the referee's whistle went.
Yeah, it was just that one pass going backwards. As soon as you do pass it backwards, the referee is going to be more inclined to blow the whistle. But all tied up, and we are going to extra time. Possession has been in more favour of Newcastle. I think it was, what, 61% in favour of Newcastle there against Watford. However, Saul Kiwi shouldn't be too turned off by that. He shouldn't be like, oh, okay, well, I'm not in the game, because he very much is. When he's going forward, he looks so threatening, he looks so scary, and I feel like you can see that in the defence of Newcastle.
Well, this is the goal that took us to extra time. It was Aubameyang getting into the box. Oh, Van Dijk had to win that header initially, and you think as a player there, the Newcastle United man, you're like, oh, thank God I've defended that attack, but no, the second wave sometimes is what catches you off guard, and that's because the concentration breaks maybe slightly, doesn't get the player switching quite right, but what a finish that was on De Bruyne's left foot. And
it's always so scary to try and commit to a tackle when it's in the box as well. You did see Van Dijk kind of lunge towards, and if the goal wasn't scored, he might have taken out De Bruyne. That's always the risk you're going to take when you do try and lunge in. So
extra time underway here. We have to find a winner in these games, so if extra time doesn't give us a winning goal, then we will be going to penalties. We've already seen some heartbreak today from the spot, but from the start here, it's Watford who are coming forward, but Pogba steps in. And Van Dijk will just switch the play here and invite Kyle Walker to attack this space. Kante then. Striding forward here and finds a lovely ball down the line to Kevin De Bruyne. Tries to get round the outside of Kyle Walker with a croqueta, but somehow the Man City man keeps it in. And now sour Kiwis in Watford. They can build an attack of their own, and finding the head of Kevin De Bruyne here might create some space in behind. Look at the space that Pogba has here. Back inside to Salah. Rashford tried to find the ball back into Salah. And this time it's Aubameyang with a scoop turn. Is it going to drop inside the box? Salah wins the header! And there is the goal to put Watford into the lead.
A shake of the head from Sour Kiwis in Watford, because he knows he's got a little bit fortunate there, but he'll take it when the ball is just lofted into the air. It was Kante that Salah was going up against, so I mean, you'd expect him to win that header anyway. But a decent finish with the header that now puts Watford 5-4 up against Newcastle in extra time. 3-1 in this game. And Planet Toast is going to have to come from behind. He's already done it once in this tie. You can see the shots there on the top left-hand side of your screen. It's been 10 shots for Watford, only the 3 for Newcastle. That's the big standout statistic so far in this tie.
So then this game has been a topsy-turvy game. No player really able to take it by the scruff of the neck at any point, and De Bruyne is brought down there by Kante. Referee decides nothing to be given. Fabinho now steps in to win the ball back for Newcastle. And Pogba might be looking for this ball in behind to De Bruyne. Fake shot, 3 players putting pressure on here, which means there might be space elsewhere on the pitch, in towards that back post. Joe Gomez gets up to get it away, and now Aubameyang has the chance to use his pace to get away, but the referee will bring the half to an end here in extra time. Just a few more minutes to go to hang on.
And one thing we are going to see is fatigue coming into the equation now. Players are going to start to get a little bit tired. Not the players playing game, but the actual in-game virtual players. You can see the little yellow bars. That means these players are starting to get a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued, and their fitness isn't too great. For example, Fabinho, of one players, just seems to be really struggling in the middle of the park now. We're getting into extra time. Almost at a dad jog, I want to say, across the pitch. Not quite getting to a sprint. And you can take advantage of that. If you have some players who've got fantastic stamina, or if you bring on a super sub, you can take advantage of some of these defensive players who are starting to lag behind a little bit in the latter stages of a game.
So 1 goal then, the difference, and you have to think, for Planet Toast, does he take a page out of Sawakiwi's book here for Newcastle? Does he go for 3 at the back now? Give himself an opportunity to get back into this game, because there isn't a lot of time on his side here, Dan. Needs to change something now, in my opinion.
It's whether that 3-5-2 is kind of in his locker. Not all players are good playing at 3-5-2. It might not work for his current play style. For example, a 4-2-3-1 does play into the back post header kind of scenario, because you have your right cam and your left cam who are just going to be pushing those back posts and try and cross them in. And you can see Van Dijk's even been moved up to one of those attacking positions at the moment. So really trying to utilise Van Dijk's height. We did just see Van Dijk striker foot birthday card be introduced into the game, so who knows, maybe he can play up front.
Draw an inspiration from that. Here are all the other games then. Only our game that we're watching in the feature game is carrying on at the moment, so we'll get back into that as soon as possible. But Cardiff City, they went down to Manchester City. Brighton and Hove Albion 2-3 there, and West Ham picking up the win. Crystal Palace going down 3-1 to AFC Bournemouth.
And you can see the results in Group C and D haven't changed since we last looked at them as well. So decent results all round for those teams as we jump straight back into this tie then. Still in round 1. We're into the second half of extra time.
And look at that man hanging in the back post. It's Van Dijk going up against Carl Walker, and I wonder what the tactic's going to be here. Pogba on one side, Van Dijk on the other of these attacking midfield positions. You're going to see a lot of crosses. There's going to be some nervy moments here for Sour Kiwis and Watford fans.
And you were talking about Newcastle maybe taking a page out of Watford's book. Maybe it has to go the other way as Rashford surely secures this for Watford now. Sour Kiwis hits Planet Toast on the counter-attack. And very little time left for Newcastle to get back into things.
Whatever you can do, I can do better. He saw what his opponent was trying to do. He was throwing players forward. It kept the space open at that back post, and the ball in was absolutely perfect. Rashford had the run on his man. Comfortable header at the back post. And you feel, barring something pretty special here, this will be a Watford win in game number 1.
Newcastle, of course, from the kick-off, if they find something, there's still that little bit of hope to maybe take this game to penalties. But Sour Kiwis now probably has to stop with his attacking football and maybe try and go for the possession-style football that his opponent was trying in the early stages. Keep the ball now and really starve your opponent of that possession.
Yeah, this is where a little bit of experience comes into play.
Nice.
Time is on your side, and crossfield balls like that are going to buy you even more of it. Little touches like that. You saw the man in behind. He had loads of space to run into. Decided just to keep hold of that football. Absolutely valuable with a 2-goal lead. Kante coming forward now. Is there time for one more goal?
He's not interested. He's just keeping the ball away from Newcastle. Very smart that the ball does
step in, though.
Go the other way. He needs a goal instantly, this attack, to have any sort of hope.
Oh, and Son's got round the side of Gomez. Look, 3 players in the box here. There's a chance for De Bruyne. What a save. David De Gea, we've said it numerous times today. That is why these players all favour that foot item in goal. He can just produce a moment of magic.
I mean, it would have been very hard to get an equaliser after that one anyway, but at least he would have had the chance to. But potentially a game-winning save there from David De Gea.
Salah on the volley. Unfortunately, that's like me hitting one. Will be a corner from the deflection. In towards the front post. Van Dijk's there. Doesn't time the header, though. That's going to drift harmlessly wide here. We're into stoppage time here at the end of this game. And that is going to be it. Watford pick up the win in game number 1. Sour Kiwis holds on.
And what a moment that is for Sour Kiwis in his first game as well, representing Watford. As I mentioned earlier,